are getting prepared for one of our favorite holidays. We love Halloween around here. So we have a studio party going and several special events. We have streamed games and in-studio games that will be probably going straight to VOD rather than streamed. Not all of them will be streamed, but some of them will be. We're at the studio now decorating things, and one of the items that we ordered for the studio party on Saturday just arrived, and I wanted to do an unboxing because it's a game that we're excited about. And it just arrived, and we're in the studio, so I figured I would get into this because I'm excited to do so, and I would just share it. We have a pretty full weekend through Halloween planned. Starting tomorrow, I will be running a Dread game. That one will be a live stream tomorrow evening. And Saturday, we're doing our studio party. We may pop in and out on things like Instagram and whatnot. We don't have a streamed event planned, as we will be focusing on hanging out with our people and all of our local gamers that we know, and having fun and gaming and celebrating the holiday with each other here in person. It would be fun to do something to stream with that, but that's really not the focus of the day. The focus is going to be in the here and now with us. At the studio, it's going to be a combination Halloween and costume party, as well as sort of our actual studio warming party, as we're finally mostly set up here and up and running in the new place. So we're going to be having fun with that. And Saturday is the party. Sunday, we have another game that we will be recording and not streaming. We may do something separate on Sunday that may go to stream, but I'm not sure. And Monday will be For the Mansion, and I think that's going to be recorded as well and maybe not live streamed, but I'm going to see how my players feel about that one. I'll be running that one as well. There is also a special event for Dia de los Muertos, which is a holiday that is near and dear to me. I really enjoy the holiday and what it represents. It's also falls near my birthday, which is how I learned about it fairly young. So it's a holiday that I really enjoy, and I'm going to be doing a Gaslands event for that. I will be recording that. We won't be streaming it. We're going to have some new players in the studio, and I need to feel people out a little bit before we put them live and subject the world to them. So we'll be recording it, and assuming everything goes the way I expect it to, we will have that up on YouTube for folks to view. I have a few custom events planned for the holiday, Dia de los Muertos, and yeah, it's going to have a couple of fun custom holidays, and then I'm probably going to end the day with everybody having to duke it out in an arena, but we'll see. We're going to wing it a little bit and see how the custom events go. So I hope everybody is gearing up for and excited for Halloween. Everybody else out there that enjoys it like we do. We ordered this game. I had not heard of this game. This is not a new game, but I had not heard of this until recently. A friend of mine told me about it, and I had to have it. And it arrived just in time for the holiday party. And it is a game called I, Dark Overlord. And it is a blame shifting game. So everybody is playing the roles of minions of some terrible dark power, some dark overlord as per the name. And there has been a mission or duty or task that everybody has been assigned to accomplish, and everybody playing the game at the table are the minions coming back after having failed. So there are random prompts with the cards that sort of give you ammunition and allow you to interrupt or shift direction or whatnot. But your task is not to be the one that gets the withering glares from the Overlord. Because once you get 3 withering glares, you're done for. So, in order to survive, what you're doing is making sure that it's clear that it was somebody else's fault and not yours, and trying to shift the blame to the other players who, of course, also don't want the blame and would much rather see you get punished than take the blame themselves. I have not played this game, but this is definitely right up my alley, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this on Halloween. I'm going to try to talk some folks into playing this. That's why I picked it up. With the group of folks that we usually hang out with and game with, we have several people that would be amazing personalities for this game with their wit and creativity and improv. So I'm going to try to wrangle people into playing this either on stream or recorded as well. This may be one of the games that we use when something falls through with one of our scheduled streams and we need something else to do to maintain the time slot and make sure that folks that have found us and are following along with us and enjoy what we bring to them can keep in regular contact, and we can keep a regular schedule so you know when and where to find us. These cards are these all look like they're the same type of cards. These, no. So there are different types of cards, and again, I'm just opening this, so I'm not entirely sure what all the cards are, but these cards from the videos I've seen, these card types are the cards that the players get dealt. So there are cards that allow you to stop and interrupt, or, wait a minute, or hold on, or it wasn't me, it was them. And there are several of those. Looks like that's what this whole stack is. But there are also cards in here that give random prompts, and these are what you need to use if you're going to interrupt and deflect a story. So you can't just make anything up. You have, like this card, incessant drums. So something with the title or picture or caption on this card is what you need to use to shift the blame to somebody else. So I can say, we were getting ready to sneak into the mansion and steal the crown like you told us to, Dark Overlord, but then Frankie couldn't help himself and just started playing his drums because he was bored. And that's how we got caught. And that shifts the blame, which it gets played in conjunction with these hand cards, I believe. So that shifts the blame and sets the narrative for the story. Now Frankie has to answer for why he was playing drums and maybe make an excuse for how it was a good thing or it was part of the plan. His part of the plan went just fine. The playing of the drums was not the problem. The problem instead was the fact that, Sarah brought a gelatinous cube and we weren't supposed to have one of those. So it's all about improv and blame shifting and trying to not get yourself in trouble. Just witty, spontaneous storytelling, and we have a couple of these games in the studio. I really enjoy these games, and we have a really good crew for spontaneous and witty games like this. So I think this one is going to be a lot of fun. It is, again, it's not new. It's been around for several years. In fact, this, I believe, is an older version of the game. It's all I could find. But as soon as I heard about it and had it described to me, I went and watched and did a little bit of research, and I had to have this game. This game is going to be a lot of fun here in the studio, and provided I can talk some folks into it, and I don't think it'll take very much arm twisting. We're going to be sharing some of that with our viewers and fans as well, because this is going to be very funny. Like our video where we're doing our improv game, The Extraordinary Adventures of Baron Munchausen. This is the same type of just off the cuff creativity and wacky improv and whatnot. So we have a good crew for it, and I think we're going to enjoy this quite a bit. I'm trying to find which cards. I think these are the Withering Glares. So when the Overlord, one person plays the Overlord and everybody else is making their excuses to the Overlord. When the Overlord has had enough of your shenanigans and excuses, or somebody just comes up with something that the Overlord just simply can't believe, there doesn't seem to be any actual hard line to it. The game can probably be played with a timer, although I've not seen it done that way in the videos I've watched. But when Frankie can't explain his drums or comes up with an absolutely just awful excuse for playing his drums and the Overlord thinks that's the end of it, Frankie gets a Withering Glare. On the third Withering Glare, you're snarfed, or the Overlord dragon consumes you with fire, breathes fire at you, or whatever the Overlord does. Throws you into a terrible trap or whatnot. As a minion, you're done for once you get 3 Withering Glares. So this game, I'm excited to play and was really excited to order. The only other thing that was in here, I ordered a couple of minis for a different game, for Gaslands. These are for Starfinder, and apparently they're called incapacitators, and they're called hug bots, apparently. However, for Gaslands, I intend to use these as arena camera bots. I'm just going to paint them up essentially as scenery, like they're walking around action cams on the table. If people decide they want to shoot at them or run them over, I may have to create rules for them, but that's not really the point. They just really looked, the way they're designed, they just really looked like TV bots to me, so I picked those up, and that's Gaslands, and I'll be doing something separate with that. So, just a moment, I'm talking too much here. We are really excited for Halloween. We will be decorating the studio tonight and getting ready for our party on Saturday. Our Dread game tomorrow is going to be a lot of fun. I have spent about 2 weeks getting prepped with the folks that are going to play the game. It's a fun scenario, and the way I had it set up, they actually had a lot of say in setting up the scenario. Dread is a role-playing game. It's a tabletop role-playing game, but instead of using dice, it uses a Jenga tower. So as things transpire and you would be rolling dice or making checks or whatnot, instead you have to go to the Jenga tower and make a pull. As the tower gets rickety, things get way more tense and whatnot. And it is an elimination style game. It's typically designed to be something like one of the 80s and 90s slasher movies like Halloween or Friday the 13th or that sort of thing. The game mimics or sets up a scenario and tension for things like a werewolf coming after the party and everybody's trying to escape, or Michael Myers chasing around the people in his house, or Jason Voorhees going after the camp counselors because he's angry that, all of that stuff. But it's designed to have something awful following people around, and everybody's trying to survive and get away. And if somebody tips the tower, they're eliminated. Something terrible happens, and I have to come up with a situation, an explanation of what happened. But once the tower is tipped, people are out. And the game we have is a small group of criminals that just performed a heist that went awry. They did get away, they got their money. However, they have law enforcement and heat on them that they weren't anticipating. And in order to kind of regroup and figure out what they're going to do next, they have they've driven up into the hills and they have found a cabin where they're going to hide. And the game is going to start with essentially them having to go over what happened and what went wrong, because they haven't really had a chance to talk since they had to start running. So several things went wrong in the heist, and several people have things to answer for, and we'll have to see we'll have to see what comes out and what doesn't, and who's mad at whom, and what other awful things may be waiting for them up in the mountains. But Dread is a game I like a lot. I wish I'm hoping we get a chance to play it more. It is an amazing game for Halloween because it is an elimination game, and while I'm normally against that, I like people involved and engaged in the game and having a good time throughout, so I don't like picking off players. It really is in the spirit of the game, so making sure I have the right people at the table who are going to understand that is key. But we have a really good group and everybody knows what's going on. I typically also work in some kind of mechanic to let people have a second chance. The first time something goes awry, they're just captured and maybe somebody can find them later. Or I had one scenario where people had a chance to come back and sit at the table and interact again, but they were actually ghosts. So they were on the other side and trying to lure people into dangerous situations, but that kept people involved. I did not, because this is streamed and sort of on a time frame, I did not do that this time, so this will be elimination style Dread, and the tower will tip, I'm sure. We've got some really, really good Jenga players, and I have had some games where it's gone a long time before it happened, but I expect this time towers are going to tip and people are going to be leaving the table as these criminals figure out what's going on and do what they can to survive. So we're going to have a lot of fun with Halloween. I have another game that I'm running called, the game is called For the Dungeon. My specific scenario this year is, I call it For the Mansion. And it's going to be a group of minions, and I don't know what they're going to be yet. They actually get to choose that as they're making their characters. So I don't know if they're going to be orcs or kobolds or golems or whatever else they choose to be, but they are the minions of a dark overlord, similar to this. And they are left alone in the house. Their evil overlord is a beholder who has painted up like a jack-o'-lantern, put on a black cape, and gone to a holiday party, leaving the instructions that the house better be clean and there better be no trouble when the overlord returns. And the minions start off thinking it's absolutely great because essentially they have a quiet night. The boss isn't home. But then trick-or-treaters find the house, and they're going to have to deal with children who don't believe that there's just no candy in a great big house like this. So shenanigans will be afoot, and we will have to see how the poor hapless minions deal with what unfolds. I don't want to spill more than that just yet because we haven't done the game, but I've had a lot of fun putting that one together. So I'm looking forward to running that one a lot as well. We have another game that's going to be run by one of our regular players. We're not going to stream that one live. We're going to record it and it'll be in the archives, so that'll probably be seen somewhere down the road. No promises as to when on that one. And the Gaslands game I think that's going to be on Thursday the 2nd. We're going to do the game on Day of the Dead. It won't be live, so that will go up on our YouTube sometime afterward. Depending on how it goes, I may stream it as a rerun with a little bit of editing. Because Gaslands is a fun game, but with any tabletop game, there's some downtime and there's some lulls and whatnot. So a little bit of editing could go a long way with that. But I'm looking forward to that one as well. I've been really excited to get Gaslands back on the table. I've been saying that for months. I'm really glad we're getting to play it again. I do enjoy the game quite a bit. It's a lot of fun. It's just engaging enough to be a lot of fun and let you get into it without taking itself so seriously that it's people take things too close to heart or get too competitive, and it becomes a negative thing. Gaslands is involved enough that it's a lot of fun, but it doesn't go that far. So it strikes a really good balance for playability and enjoyability with me. So I really enjoy it. The way the game was put together by Mike Hutchinson is the person who wrote it. He struck a really good balance with making sure the game is enjoyable at its core, and that it's engaging enough that it's not just silly. It's not just throwing dice and racing cars around a track. It's engaging enough that it's a lot of fun to play, and it feels mechanically sound enough and rule deep enough that you can enjoy it, take it seriously, and run with it from game to game without being really upset when things go wrong, because the game's designed to let things go wrong. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun for Halloween. Everybody out there that enjoys the holiday like we do, we hope you guys have fun and safe things planned as well. Stay nerdy, stay safe, and yeah, take care of each other, because we're all we've got. So we should be good to each other. And we'll see you soon.